How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Pokémon Unite character guide. In this episode, we're going to be covering Mr. Mime, some of the best abilities to use, some of the best held items, and some of those battle items to use when you're playing Mr. Mime. So, if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe, and if you're interested, make sure you check out the other character guides on the channel. So, let's get right into it. Starting off at level 1, Mr. Mime gets the choice between Fake Out and Light Screen. Fake Out makes the user slap its hands together, shoving opposing Pokemon in front of it. It has a cooldown of 7 seconds. Light Screen creates a wall of light in the designated area that prevents opposing Pokemon from passing. It has a cooldown of 8 seconds. At level 4, Mr. Mime gets the choice between Confusion and Psychic. Confusion attacks straight in front of the user, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon and shoving them back. It has a cooldown of 6 seconds. When upgraded, it increases the damage dealt. Psychic centers a telekinetic blast on both the user and any guard-swapped opposing Pokemon, damaging all opposing Pokemon caught in the blasts and lowering their special defense for a short time. If an opposing Pokemon is hit by multiple overlapping blasts, that Pokemon is left unable to act for a short time. It has a cooldown of 6 seconds. When upgraded, continually deals damage while this move is in effect and decreases the movement speed of opposing Pokemon. At level 6, Mr. Mime gets the choice between Barrier and Guard Swap. Barrier creates a translucent wall that prevents opposing Pokemon from passing. This move's cooldown begins after 2 walls have been placed. It has a cooldown of 2 seconds. When upgraded, it increases the move's uses by 1, so it goes from 2 to 1. Guard Swap temporarily swaps the user's defense and special defense stats with those of another Pokemon when it hits. Swapping with an opposing Pokemon deals damage over time to them and decreases their movement speed while increasing the user's movement speed for a short time. Swapping with an ally Pokemon increases their movement speed for a short time. It has a cooldown of 4.5 seconds. When upgraded, continually restores HP to the user and the ally Pokemon while this move is in effect. Alright, Mr. Mime's passive ability is Filter. Filter reduces the damage received by the Pokemon for a short time after it uses a move. So this sounds like after Mr. Mime uses a move, if he takes any damage after that, for a very short time, that damage is reduced. Alright, now that we've got the abilities out of the way, let's take a look at some of the better held items to use when you're playing Mr. Mime. Starting off, we've got the Exp Share. The Exp Share, while your experience points are the lowest among your team, you will accumulate 2 experience points per second. However, when a teammate KOs a wild Pokemon, there is no reason for the experience value. So, if you are the lowest level in your team, you will just passively regain experience. Considering Mr. Mime is a support character much like Eldegoss, it's kind of hard for Mr. Mime to do a lot of damage. So if Mr. Mime can stay in the front lines and stay with you using your Light Screen, using maybe Psychic, Guard Swap, whatever you take, Mr. Mime will just passively level up, passively help out the team. So Mr. Mime taking an XP Share is probably one of the better held items that he can take. Next up, we've got the Buddy Barrier. Upon using a Unite move, the attacker and its lowest HP ally gain a shield of a percentage of their respective maximum HPs. So, Buddy Barrier would work very well, just with any support character really. I think we mentioned it briefly on the Eldegoss video, but with Mr. Mime using the Buddy Barrier, whenever Mr. Mime uses his Unite move, it will gain a shield based off of his maximum HP for himself, and then let's say he uses it and a Machamp is right next to him with low HP, that Machamp will gain a shield based off of their maximum HP. Next up, we've got the Shell Bell. The Shell Bell heals the attacker's HP when a special attack hits its target. So if you take abilities like Psychic or Confusion at level 4, the special damage that you heal from are those abilities. So just a reminder though that the special damage does not increase your HP, it just heals you, and it's not a heal over time either, it's just a heal. So when you hit something, you'll heal based off of the respective damage that you deal. And the Shell Bell, however, also, if I remember correctly, it gives a sort of move cooldown, which could be very effective when paired with Mr. Mime. Alright, now that we've got the held items out of the way, let's take a look at some of the better battle items to use when you're playing Mr. Mime. Starting off, we've got the Eject Button. The Eject Button moves to a specified direction immediately. It has a cooldown of 55 seconds. The eject button is great if you need to get out of combat, get to an ally Pokemon to maybe barrier them. I would usually say use the eject button to chase down a kill. However, Mr. Mime doesn't have a very good damage output as he's a support character, so I would just use your eject button to escape the fight, to rush to an ally Pokemon if they need help. Next up, we've got the potion. The potion restores some of your Pokemon's HP, and it has a cooldown of 30 seconds. The potion is exactly what it sounds like. If you need a quick heal, there's the potion right there. Then we've got the white smoke. The white smoke creates a smoke screen around the player that slows down opposing Pokemon. It has a cooldown of 40 seconds. The white smoke, being able to slow down opposing Pokemon, is fantastic if you need to get away from a fight, help your allies get away from a fight. It's great. It's a great team ability all around. Alright, now that we've taken a look at the battle items, let's take a look at my preferred Mr. Mime build. So before I talk about this, I want to go ahead and talk about Barrier. Barrier, as I mentioned earlier, creates a translucent wall that prevents opposing Pokemon from passing. When the Japanese stress test was happening, Barrier was one of my worst enemies. Barrier kept me off of the goals, it kept me away from Zapdos. If you can control your opponent using Barrier, Barrier is a fantastic pick. With that being said, I want to look at my ideal Mr. Mime build, which at level 4, I'm going to take Psychic. At level 6, I'm not going to take Barrier, I'm going to take Guard Swap. Because Psychic and Guard Swap pair off of each other so well, it would be silly to take one instead of the other, especially considering Psychic. So with Psychic, it centers the telekinetic blast on both the user and any Guard Swapped opponent. So if you can Guard Swap and then use Psychic, it does. I believe it does more damage. I do not know right now, considering the game's not out currently. But that's how it sounds to me. It sounds like if you have Guard Swap on an opposing Pokemon and you use Psychic, Psychic will automatically lock onto that Guard Swapped opponent. It may not do more damage, but it sounds like it will automatically lock onto that opponent, which could be very good. The 3 held items I'm going to use are the 3 held items I mentioned earlier: the Exp Share, the Buddy Barrier, and the Shell Bell. And for the battle item I'm going to use, I'm going to take the Eject Button, just for that extra movement ability to be able to get out of combat, to be able to rush to an ally, just in case somebody needs help or I need to get away. That Eject Button, it's a great mobility option, especially for characters with low mobility like Mr. Mime. So that's it for the Mr. Mime character guide. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe. As I mentioned, make sure you check out the other character guides on the channel. If you like what you see here, maybe check me out on twitch.tv/Enderpandaplayz, where when Pokémon Unite comes out, I will be streaming every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and sometimes on Saturdays from 2 to 8 p.m. It will be an absolute blast. I would love to see you there. And if you have a preferred Mr. Mime build that you want to play when Pokémon Unite comes out, leave it in the comments. I would absolutely love to hear it. If there's anything else that you want to mention about Pokemon Unite, I would love to hear that in the comments too. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace.